Hey folks, welcome back to Good Enough Customs. So this week did not turn out anything like I had planned. Everything took way longer than expected. Maybe I was being a little too detail focused on crappy old paint, but I've spent 30-ish hours this week, just this week, after work. Yesterday I think it was 10 or 12 hours. And I've already been outside today's Sunday. I've already been out here today for, I don't know, 2 hours, just kind of buttoning things up. So been working on little John. You know, last week we put the radiator in, and the electric fans, and then I wet sanded and buffed one side of the hood, and it turned out all right. I wasn't happy with it, so I re-wet sanded it, I rebuffed it, along with the entire truck. So now it did pay off, because damn, this thing looks great, at least from 10, 20 feet. But ended up having to wet sand basically from the body line up. Was wet sanded, body line down. The clear wasn't really peeling down there. It was still in pretty good shape, so I was able to just kind of buff it and not have to worry about wet sanding on it. But the big challenge was all those edges of the clear coat where it was peeling up, trying to smooth that out as best I could, trying to minimize its ability to pop back up, which it will, but I might have gone a little overboard. But I did a few other things too while I had it in here and I was doing all this stuff. The grill was busted. I had busted signal lights. I had all the parts. I just wasn't putting them on just yet. But let's show this guy real quick. So little John, I repainted the windshield or the headlight surrounds here. New grill, which unfortunately does not come with the GMC on it, and that part costs like $75, which is what I paid for the grill. But new marker lights. I repainted these surrounds because they were extremely sun faded. But yeah, this thing it shined up. So it is super shiny, super clean. I mean, the paint still looks like garbage, but it is impressive. You can actually see reflections. Hi. So it's pretty impressive how well this turned out. In the daylight it looks amazing. I took and drove it to the gas station. Up there turned out okay. That was probably one of the worst areas, was the roof. Yeah, I took and drove it to the gas station yesterday, just because I haven't driven it in like a week or so. And it was mostly put back together. It was enough to where I could, I was legal. So I drove it to the gas station to grab a bite to eat yesterday because, yes, I'm that guy. I eat gas station food. Love it. But did that. I got stopped by a fella, right as I was getting ready to leave. And, he loved it. He's like, man, that thing looks amazing. I was like, yeah, it's work in progress, but, it's coming right along. And he was really digging on it. I got a couple thumbs up, driving down the road, and it's not that far to the gas station. So it was pretty awesome. Yeah, little John turned out awesome. So you can still see, when you get up close, you can see all the edges from the old clear coat. This part's the clear. This is the just paint. We got some checking. Yeah, you can see it there. They got some checking in the clear coat that, can't do anything about that. This side, really worked out. I ended up changing my grit size from 1500 to 1000 to really try to work these edges and smooth them out as best I could. You can kind of see I got a little deep on it here. I got into the, down there to the primer, got all the way down to almost the metal right there. So you can see I was really working this thing, trying to smooth this stuff out. Good news is I was able to save most of the pinstriping. I was able to get around it and just polish on it and really clean it up, pretty good. I mean, I faded it out a little bit right here. I lost my B pillar. That pretty much went away. I got a little stripe here and about the same thing on the other side. But overall, I was able to keep pretty much all the pinstriping. Like I said, some of it was a little faded out. Back here it was already in pretty bad shape, and it's a little worse now, but it's still there. So all in all, it turned out pretty good. But that was also, like I said, I've got around 30 hours in wet sanding, buffing, and then a final coat of wax on top of. the buff, and I had to buff it twice. One with high speed, one with the DA buffer with a foam pad to try to kill the swirl and, you know, to kind of bring up that final shine. So it turned out amazing. Another thing that I did just actually this morning was try to figure out the best way to show this one, was it had that GMC Motorsports on the windshield, and I ended up finding one online and bought it and replaced that because I kind of dug it. I was just like, it really kind of fits the truck. It works out beautifully. Plus it's red and matches the truck. So so I did all that. Right now I have the wiper arms off. Just painted those this morning. So as soon as they dry, I'll put the wiper arms on. Doesn't matter, they don't work. There's still some electrical bugs to sort out. You know, I got to figure out, speedometer still isn't working. None of the gauges work except for the voltmeter. It does work. There's no lights in the dash. You know, there's still some bugs to work out on this guy, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's good to go. So one of the things I was wanting to do this weekend, and to be honest, I did not think it would take this long to get everything buttoned up on this truck. One of the things that I was wanting to do, you know, said it a few times, really want to lower this guy. It's just not in the budget. Well, I made room in the budget because I was like, damn it, it needs to go down. So I ended up buying this little stack of goodies right here. And you can see we got a Beltec hanger kit, shackling hanger kit. That there are 3-inch spindles. I believe those are the upper control arms and the lower control arms. So I've got new upper and lower control arms with fresh ball joints, fresh control arm bushings, and then, like I said, the shackle and the hanger kit for the back. So it's going to drop it 3 inches up front, 4 inches out back. And I was really wanting to get that done this weekend, mainly because we have our C10 spring kickoff, you know, show season kickoff is a week from yesterday, actually. So it's Saturday the 23rd, I think. Yeah, Saturday the 23rd. And that's up in White House. It's about an hour 15, hour and a half drive. Probably an hour and a half, hour and 45 with this guy, because I can't run 75, 80 mile an hour in this truck. Top speed 50, 55. So my plan was to get it dropped, have it all, you know, shined up and pretty, and get it dropped and ready to go for next week. But yeah, didn't happen. So now it still might. I've got, you know, like I said, I've put so many hours in on this thing this week. I've neglected a lot of things I need to do here at the house. So that's why I'm going ahead and doing this video, is because I don't have time to really get started on this guy today. I might this evening, but that's going to be way too late for me to film anything and upload and do all that fun crap. So I think I'm probably going to get started on this. Hopefully get started on this today. If not, I'm going to work on it throughout the week and try to get the lowering kit on this guy. That way next weekend it's pretty well done. So the lowering kit, in case you're not familiar with the way they work, up front I got spindles. So basically the spindle, all it does is take the center line of the spindle and move it up 3 inches. So it comes up 3 inches on the knuckle, and that allows the truck to sit lower up front. Out here out back, we've got extended shackles. So that little guy right there, the new one I think is like 2 or 3 inches longer. May have to trim out a little bit of this support, or actually I think that support, in order to make it clear, but that's not really a big issue. I've done that on a lot of trucks. And then over here on the front hanger, we'll knock those rivets off, and then it replaces this guy with one that's positioned up higher. So between the two parts in the back, it gives you about 4 inches of drop. And the nice thing is I don't have to C-notch it, so I don't have to worry about all that business. It's not that I mind C-notches. I mean, I'm running it on 3 trucks here. Jackson's truck, Steve and Big John, they're all C-notched. Never really had a problem with it, but I'm probably going to end up selling this truck just because I don't need it. I mean, how many square bodies does one person need? I know the right answer is all of them, but but I don't need another dually. I've already got one, and Big John's much more comfortable than this guy. But yeah, I'll probably end up selling this guy. And a lot of times whenever you go to sell stuff, if it's been C-notched, you know, people are going to shy away from it because they're going to be like, oh, the frame's weak now. And that may be, the frame may be a little bit weaker, but nowadays most of the C-notches, they kind of take that into account, so you don't have to worry so much about that, unless you're really, really pulling some weight with it. But then you're probably better to have like a step notch instead of just a C-notch. So anyways, so I'm not going to C-notch this guy, but yeah, 3 inches lower in the front, 4 inches lower in the back. That'll set it down. It'll look a lot nicer. So we'll have our front fender will be somewhere in this neighborhood. Yeah, somewhere in this neighborhood. So it'll set that wheel up nice up in the wheel well, and there'll be plenty of travel. Don't have to worry about it, you know, rubbing on the fenders or the inner fenders, which, you know, with Big John, he's got a 6 inch up front, 8 inch back, which is more like 10. It's got a switch kit on it. And I rub the inner fenders up front all day long. It's ridiculous. So, but I just want to throw a quick video together, give y'all guys an update. I didn't film any of this stuff just because it's literally me sitting here, you know, sanding, and then a little bit later it was me buffing, and then me buffing, and then me waxing. Pretty repetitive. I will say my shoulders are, they're not as bad as I'd anticipated. Don't get me wrong, they hurt throughout the week pretty bad. My hands are really the part that's got me. I sit behind a desk most of the time, so so I don't do a whole lot of physical activity, and boy, this really put it to me. But yeah, it turned out extremely well. I am super pleased with how this thing's turned out. It looks really good. So anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one off. I'm gonna get to taking care of other stuff that I need to do as soon as my wiper arms dry. Get taking care of other crap I need to do today, and then hopefully tonight I can get out here and I can get to filming and tearing down the front suspension and the rear suspension and getting this guy down on the ground a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So all right, folks. Well, thanks for watching. Sorry it's not a whole lot of content on this one, but you know, look forward to next week. Next week should be a good one. So so y'all guys take it easy, and just remember, folks, ain't got to be perfect. This thing's far from perfect, but damn, it looks good enough. So we'll see y'all next time.